I'm Madi Corbett and I'm a fashion design major. My collection is titled Ephemeral and it is about the connection between life, death, and fashion. I have a statement that I am going to read and I will do that now. Fashion and death have always been connected. We are born naked but buried in fabric. The fates in the Greek mythos would snip a thread when it was your time to depart. Time is the tapestry we are woven into. It makes sense that burials are often the place where fabric remains to be found archaeologically. Clothes and textiles are slightly more long-lived than we are, but they succumb to the same things we do. Rot, lack of care, cuts and stitches, stains, and eventually, hopefully, consumed back into the earth. Fashion is not archival in the way other art forms are, like painting and sculpture. For my senior design collection, I wanted to play on the themes surrounding human and fabric deaths and decay. I chose natural fibers for all 6 of my designs, and any hardware, plastic, etc. is secondhand. One of the things I made a point to focus on was natural and fugitive dyes. This is a collection meant to convey an idea and an artistic philosophy, not to be made for consumer use. As a former fine arts student, I always had a vision of incorporating my art into my fashion and vice versa. Fashion, the fiber arts, and the craft arts, to me, are just as worthy as being on the level of your classic, well-known works of art. My choice to use as many natural materials as possible was not only for the quality in terms of fabric, but also to ensure that these clothes eventually die as well. Using fugitive and natural dyes also harkens to this circular system, as well as the human propensity for aging. I am also using heritage techniques like honeycomb smocking and collecting mementos and left behind items. In my silhouettes, I played with burial shrouds, flowers, cremation fire, and nostalgia. I also played with movement restriction, which happens as we age. Fabrics lose their flexibility over time and are prone to shattering as well. Death is inescapable. Even if we try to ignore it, it will come for us all eventually. How everyone reacts to death in their life is different, but there is still a connection within us all as humans as we remember those important to us in different ways. Whether it be charms or bones, graves or omens, we try to keep those who we have departed with us as long as possible. Everyone has their own way of grieving, but there is still an overarching spiritual feeling to losing someone important in your life that makes you care enough for rituals. The collection is not only looking towards the past, to the ends, but also to the future. Slow fashion, natural fibers, and return to the ecosystem and reusable items are all necessary for our revival of the fashion industry. Just like aquamation and human composting are the radical change needed in the death industry. Everyone should return to the ecosystem, human and fabric alike. So make your choice in fashion and death wisely. Like I said, I was originally a fine arts major, and I found myself losing hope in the arts, and so I wanted to do something that I felt like I could express myself creatively, but also not tear my heart out while monetizing it. My biggest strength as a designer is my construction skills. I have been sewing for most of my life, and I have also taken an interest in learning historical construction techniques. I am an incredibly fast sewer, but I think I am a well-rounded designer in all areas. This show is important to me because it will be a crowning piece in my portfolio going forward when applying to jobs in the fashion industry. I love the hands-on process of being a fashion design student. One of my favorite things is being able to work in the lab and getting to sew all the time and doing hands-on projects and like the textiles classes and the construction classes where you're just constantly experimenting with different techniques and things like that. I'm a very hands-on learner, and so I really appreciate that. And it's fun. The best thing that you can do for yourself as a fashion designer is to be sewing constantly and to be creating constantly. And so I think that everybody should do the fashion shows because it will improve your sewing and improve your design leaps and bounds. Graduation for me is something that I have been looking forward to for a very long time. I think that it'll be really exciting to work in a field that I am passionate about and have a degree in something I am also passionate about.